Yo, what's poppin', man? I miss you guys. I got busy on Monday, so I wasn't able to stream, but I miss you guys, man. Haven't seen y'all since last Saturday. But man, I started the preseason today. Hold on. I didn't even check the stats. I've been so busy today. Couldn't watch it. I mean, it's happening in the middle of the day. But let's see what happened in the NBA preseason. The Knicks won. Look at that. You got Mitchell Robinson, 16 boards. Let me tell you something. You know what? Before we get into the super teams thing, I mean, with the Knicks, who did they hire again? I forgot. Who did the Knicks hire again? Who's their coach? I forgot. I know it was a really good coach, actually. Was it a good coach? Knicks coach. All right, so they hired Mike Brown, right? So the Knicks hired Mike Brown. I mean, do you guys think Mike Brown's the guy to put them over the edge? I'm not going to lie. What Tibbs did last year in the postseason was actually despicable. I'm not going to hold you, at least from my perspective. I mean, when your team is getting killed, when your team is getting locked down by a basic press, by a Pacers team who isn't even known for defense. They do have capable defenders, but they're not even known for defense like that. You telling me the Knicks with Bridges, the Knicks with Towns, with Jalen Brunson, y'all got beat because y'all couldn't handle a press? Come on, dog. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me, bro. Like, that was wild. That was mad sickening. That was crazy to me. So Tibbs, listen, I mean, Tibbs wasn't even that great of an offensive coach. If I ever really think back to it, he hasn't been. So I think the firing was definitely deserving. I do think that the firing was definitely deserving. And I do think Mike Brown, he can offer some different types of things. You feel me? And yeah, King Shea, I mean, that's a good point too. They didn't have no other real ball handlers besides Brunson. But bro, let me you telling me you can't ask Cat or OG, yo, bro, like, even though they're denying ball, bro, take the ball from Jalen Brunson. He's getting pressed OD. He can't even get down court. That's crazy. And then the Knicks offense is very basic too. It has been basic for their whole time with Tibbs. Dribble with Jalen. Dribble. Like, come on, bro. We talked about that with James Harden, man. I mean, the NBA, I mean, like, come on, fam. Like, what we doing? What we doing with that? So Mike Brown, I do think, brings some much needed offense that they definitely did need. Him and what he did on the Kings was definitely great. So I'm very excited to see what they'll do. I have to see some of those games and see what happened in preseason, see how they're looking. But I think Mike Brown's a good hiring. And the main thing that really hurt the Knicks last season, dog, bro, why aren't y'all getting back on defense? That's all coaching. I'm not going to hold you, dog. You telling me you can't get your players back on defense? You telling me that your players don't know how to get back on defense, bro? The Pacers was killing y'all on the break. That's coaching. That's coaching, fam. So I'm really hoping that Mike Brown, because I think he did get done dirty on the Kings. So because the Kings did a terrible job in constructing that roster. I mean, terrible job. So especially like adding DeMar DeRozan. I mean, I don't know what they were doing good, and then they went left real quick. So I don't know what they were doing. But Mike Brown on this Knicks crew, I'm very excited to see. And I do think the Knicks should be able to surprise people with Mike Brown. So I'm very, very excited to see what they're going to do. You know, very, very – let me see. King Shea. The closest comp to the Knicks team, to me, it's late 2000 Jazz. 2 disciplinary coaches, 1 conference finals, 2 top 20 players in the league. I hate saying that name. Andre, OG, Mikhail, etc. I think they're better than that Jazz team. Late 2000s Jazz team. Because I believe Boozer was on that crew, right? I'm like almost confident Carlos Boozer was on that crew because it was them and Darren Williams, and they were hurt too in the postseason sometimes, so we couldn't really see what they were able to do. Yeah, Boozer was on that squad. I don't think that's a bad comp, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. We'll see what happens with them. I'm not really sure. I mean, Darren Williams, Jalen Brunson. Who is better, Darren Williams or Jalen Brunson? Now that I'm here, screw it. Let's just keep this down the rabbit hole, bro. Who's better? Who's better, Jalen Brunson or Darren Williams? Where does Jalen Brunson rank in like the echelon of players in the past? Because Jalen Brunson's kind of weird. He started off as a role player. Then he kind of emerged as a star. So in the point guards of all time, you feel me? Or even the players of all time, like where is he ranking? Is he in the Darren Williams tier? That's a good question. Darren Williams or Jalen Brunson? I think Williams is probably a better passer, playmaker. Scoring-wise, I guess you can go Jalen Brunson, but Darren Williams could hoop, though. I may have to go with D. Will. So I don't know. I think that's a good comparison. Darren Williams and Jalen Brunson, who's better? That's a very good one. I'm not really sure. That's a good one. I'm gonna side with Darren Williams though, because I remember there was a time where we are actually having conversations about Chris Paul versus Darren Williams. I'm not sure Jalen Brunson has ever been better than like a peak or prime Chris Paul in my mind. I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, let's get to the topic. Let's get to the topic right here, right? Did super teams ruin the NBA? If you ask me, I am a fan of the players. I am definitely in favor of player empowerment. But we got to call a spade, man. Part of this industry of the NBA, a big part of it is entertainment. I think everyone needs to be real and honest with that when talking about the NBA. This isn't purely hoops. This isn't purely basketball. There's a show, a stardom to it. There's showcasing to it. You feel me? There's a story you got to create. The NBA, in large part, a lot of it is entertainment. It's all about how you entertain. So when I look at this, and super teams really became a thing and really became like a point of discussion in the 2010s. Super teams has always been a thing throughout the whole entire NBA history. But when you have guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, moving from team to team to try to manufacture these great teams, this is where the super team discussions really came into play. And if you ask, honestly, like if I'm honestly speaking, if you're a part of the NBA, either a worker, executive, or whatever, an athlete, a part of the NBA, you cannot deny the fact that the stardom that comes to it and basically the entertainment factor, the showmanship. There's showmanship when it comes to the NBA, without a doubt. Kobe actually was a big advocate of this, of, why am I resting games when guys are paying to see me? A part of it he felt as his responsibility to the fans, to the entertainment aspect of the NBA was, okay, I got to be out there to play. These guys spent their hard-earned to watch me play. Let me go sit here and go out and play for them, even if I'm banged up. I got to sit here and go put on a show for these guys. That to me shows a level of even exchange between the athletes, the people who's getting paid, and then the fans. And that's what the fans like. That's why a lot of fans love Kobe Bryant. That's why Kobe Bryant have some of the greatest fans and the most diehard fans. I mean, Kobe was a guy who was a man of the fans, a man of the people. And he was honest and upfront about that, and everyone loved him. But now when we get to, LeBron James and even KD, the resting and now the super team stuff of manufacturing your own teams, you got to understand where that's gonna put a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouth. When you over here teaming up with Chris Bosh, when you're over here teaming up with Dwayne Wade, when you're over here doing all and trying to manufacture these teams, a lot of people don't like nor respect that. And we can have a disagreement on, do I think people should really care too much about that? I don't see why they actually do, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you care that much about it? But you can't deny the fact that the NBA is a casually fan-base driven league. It always has been. And it's all about trying your best to amass the casual fandom. It is what it is. That's how it is. It's how it's always been. People have jobs, they have lives, they have families. Not everyone is going to sit here and pay attention to, what every player's rookie year is and when they got drafted, or how many points this guy put up on this certain day in this certain month, or the EFG he has against, higher ranking defensive teams. Majority of the people in America, they don't have time for all of that. They just don't. They do not have time for that. They watch on a casual level. They pay attention to stats on a casual level. That's majority of the fan base in the NBA and all of sports, right? So when we're talking about the NBA and the viewership now and how the NBA and the popularity is going down, we cannot deny the fact that this super team stuff actually did play a part in it. You pissed off the casual fan base. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, you literally pissed them off. When you're doing this super team stuff, when you're doing these guys going from one team to another, eventually they get tired of it and they don't want to watch it. I'm up in the Northeast, bro. And one of the main things that I hear all the time? I don't watch the NBA anymore. I don't like LeBron James anymore. You want to know why? Because they just – I don't want to curse. They're punks, I guess you can say. Or, them switching from team to team. It's not like the right thing to do and everything. A lot of people just don't like that. A lot of people don't. They don't like it, nor do they respect it. You got these guys, they work their 9-to-5s, they work their jobs, and they respect the grind and everything. Like, and now you got athletes who get paid millions of dollars. They're trying to skip the grind, basically. That's a lot of people in their mindset. So, of course, guess what? A lot of the working man is not going to really watch and respect the league like that because you don't respect the work that needs to be put in. And then you want to sit here and say things like, it don't matter if I'm paying this or I'm paying that. Don't matter that the fans are paying to watch you. I'm still going to rest as well. Yeah, a lot of fans are not going to like that. If I'm going to be complete, they're not going to like that at all. So the super teams and just the listen, player empowerment is good, but it has its flaws. It has its flaws. And it definitely, I believe it definitely did hurt the viewership in the league. I think there's a lot of reasons on why the viewership went down. I think COVID is an underrated one people don't talk about enough. I think the lack of the next upcoming stars is also a part of that. But this super teams and kind of the self-seeking and the self-desiring of one's, I guess you could say, destiny in the league. Yeah, a lot of people didn't respect that, bro. I'm just going to be honest. And LeBron, I mean, listen, for LeBron, we got to be real. Like, the NBA is a story. You create the story. And people could be mad about that all they want. And even LeBron James don't even like that to an extent. But LeBron, we got to be real with you too, bro. Let's not act like you don't be trying to manufacture a great story for yourself. Like, come on, like, let's call a spade a spade. Let's not act like you don't be trying to create this superhero, super figure story. This is why you got they got the remakes of when he was in high school and all the documentaries and everything, and what he was doing for in the Olympics. Like, come on, bro. You're feeding into that story to try to level yourself up. Understandably so. My thing is, let's not sit here and manufacture this story as if like, all right, I'm only going to try to manufacture it if this only benefits me. It don't work like that. You got to sit here and you got to manufacture this story to try to benefit them all, and even the fans. Because I'm going to be honest. Like, the fans will and forever always be, the consumer will always be the driving force in whatever field you're in. Your consumer is what makes you in anything you create. Well, any business in America. Majority of the business in America, the consumer is the driving force, and you need to find ways to please the consumer. And the NBA right now, what they're going through is you have the consumer, you have the execs. Now you have your workers within that, but your workers are no longer, before they did, but the workers are no longer trying to please the consumer. They don't care about it because they just don't. That could be for a lot of different reasons. I do think they care about basketball, but they don't care about the fans a lot. KD don't care about the fans a lot. He likes doing him and doing whatever he wants. I'll be honest. Like, that's how it is. I like KD too. I think it's funny what he does on Twitter. But when your workers are openly admitting to not really caring how the fandom feels about certain things, that hurts your consumer and that hurts your market and that hurts your viewership, because eventually they're going to start clicking off. So the NBA is kind of in a limbo right here, and I'm not sure what the NBA is ever going to do, because you can't just fire your workers. Not these workers. They command so much attention. You can't fire them. You still have to pay them, because if you don't, they could just do another lockout. So the execs, they trying to please the fans and the players. How do you do that? How do you please the fans and the players? The players want to get paid as much money as they can. On top of that, they don't want to do showmanship. They don't. I mean, the All-Star game is also another could be another reason to the lack of care of showmanship. Because, I mean, the All-Star games have just been trash for the last almost 10 years now. And that's a part of this little mindset. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Now, the players can do whatever they want. I'm still going to watch. But, the league right now, I don't think the league is in a great spot. The league is definitely in I'm worried for the NBA and where it's going to go. I think it's probably always going to be a thing, but there's probably going to be a lot of cuts eventually. Because even with this new deal, Adam Silver's crazy. This guy said these guys could just watch highlights. This guy's nuts. This guy's freaking nuts, bro. Everyone's just getting fed up with fans. It's crazy, dog. They're completely getting fed up with fans, even the execs. And the fans are eventually just going to turn off the TV. It's crazy. King Shay. Let me read your. I think they got to market Shea versus Jokic, like Magic versus Bird, dub, or Luka versus Giannis, like Kobe and Duncan. I think one of the hopes in the league is going to be Luka. Giannis could be a thing, but it could be Luka versus Shea, and maybe that could start it up. At the end of the day, and fans need to admit this too, y'all don't care about the majority of the players in the league. You just don't. Majority of fans. Jokic is cool, but Jokic is not like a Wembanyama. I think Wembanyama even leads him in jersey sales. And Jokic is a top 2, top 3, top 1 player in the league right now. That's crazy. So Luka and Victor are really the next guys up to try to shake things up. But even Shea, a lot of people still don't even know how to say Shea's name. They don't even know the letters of SGA. They don't even know. They don't even know that. People don't care. Majority of people do not care. They do not care about the superstars in the league that we have right now. They just don't care. So the league, what do you have to do? You have to make them care. How do you make them care? You got to create a good enough story. So Luka on the Lakers, perfect. I think Luka versus the Mavericks, that's going to generate a bunch of buzz and a bunch of story that can definitely elevate things up. I think that's perfect for them. But the NBA is desperate right now to kind of liven things up. The NBA has been dry, and it's sad because the postseason that we have right here was one of the most exciting postseasons we had in a while. But when you have this super team stuff, when you're creating an identity of the players not really caring what the fans think, guess what? The fans are going to stop caring about the players. They're just going to stop caring about the players. They are. They're not going to care what they do, care what they say, or care what championships they win. Want to know why? Because you're showing them that you don't care what they think. That's why Ant-Man. Salute. Oh, Ant-Man would be a good one. Luka versus Ant-Man. I think that's a great one. Anthony Edwards, a guy who says, he likes showing up, he likes playing, he likes putting on the show. A lot of people love Anthony Edwards. Why? Because he actually shows a level of care that he has for the fandom. Luka Doncic. The only time he really misses games is when he's really hurt. So Luka, he's a competitor, and you can tell he's a competitor. He loves to compete. People like that. They gravitate towards that. They love that. You know, so I think the younger generation, though, I think you have a lot of that. Kate Cunningham's, even Jalen Green, that little rivalry they have. They like going up against each other and putting on a show. Man, it's crazy. And King Shay, you're right. You know, LeBron and Steph are still the two most popular players. What do we do with that? What do we do with that? And the reason for that is because, again, when you are showing a a lack of care you have for the fandom, eventually the fandom is going to stop caring too. So the NBA right now in the 2020s with Luka, Ant-Man, they have an opportunity now to shift that. They have an opportunity. They should try to give back more. They should try to, have some more showmanship, make things more entertaining, give effort. I promise y'all. I promise you. Honestly, no. I promise you, a lot of things would fix in the NBA. A lot if people just gave more effort. If they just gave more effort to things, even the stupid things, even the things that we say don't even mean that much like that. Guess what? Give more effort in slam dunk contests, bro. Give more effort. Give more care in skills competitions. Give more effort in all-star games. Just give more effort in general. Let's not treat some games like it's nothing, even though it's natural to do that. That's one of the ways to fix it because you're showing the care to the fandom. I'm not going to hold you. If God blesses me with having a crazy following and everything, a lot of what I'll do and spend my time doing, I'll spend my time trying to bless the fans, bro. Without a doubt, you got to give back. And it's an even exchange like that. You feel me? I wish I gave back before when I actually had far more clout. I really do wish I gave back before. But, maybe some ways we were doing that through was open gym and everything. I think that was great. But, yeah, you gotta give back to the people. You always have to give back to the people. If you want your leagues or if you want your business to grow, one, you give back to God, and then you give back to the people. And if you do those two things, you will be blessed. Absolutely. You will absolutely be blessed in whatever avenue you take, whatever realm you're in. When I make money, when I make good money, I was actually just having a conversation about this on the phone. Literally, when I have good months, like really, really good months, you want to know one of the first things I do? I check my tithes, make sure I'm giving enough. Then I say, okay, if I'm making this good enough money, guess what I do? I start giving people money. I'm not going to hold you. I literally start giving people money. You got to do stuff like that because you get those in return. But I don't do it for a return. I do it because I genuinely like and care to do that. I love doing it. I think it's awesome to bless people. So when the NBA fans and the NBA fandom, they're not the workers, the athletes who makes $1 million, they basically saying, screw you, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Come on, man. That's not how you do it. And it really started with the super teams because LeBron and them wanted to manufacture their own team. They didn't like that. So the fans said F you. LeBron said F you back, and I'm gonna do things my own way. LeBron saying things, oh, it's just basketball. I'm good. I'll take a break. That ain't cool, bro. You just can't be doing that. Now, LeBron's still one of the most popular players, but you hurt your league like that. Because, again, that's your leader. You have your leader, and that leader sets the tone. And that leader sets the tone for all of these other people watching. So they're going to see your leader, LeBron James. Oh, he acts like that. He treats the fans like that. He wants to act like that. Guess what? I'm not going to watch the league anymore if everyone's going to be like that. That's how it looks. And you can deny how much LeBron is a great leader, and LeBron's a very influential. The reason why they had the bubble was because the Lakers said they'll do it. If the Lakers said they weren't going to do it, they weren't going to do the bubble. LeBron's very influential. You can't deny that. So to me, I think all across the board, to try to fix the NBA and where it's at now, I think there needs to be more of a level of selflessness to the fans and to the community. And then you will be able to see that come back in return. Now, don't get me wrong. And am I going to sit here and be like the fan base is innocent? Nah. The fan base is cruel. The fan base is wild. They be doing some wild stuff. But the majority of the fans aren't like that. And you shouldn't focus on the few bad apples and then basically not pay attention to and disrespect everybody else. You feel me? And that's just my own thoughts on that. Open gym was fire. And listen, I'm not gonna lie. If I start getting more clout again, I wanna start like traveling to New York, traveling to Philly. You feel me? Doing some stuff, doing some maybe tournaments and everything. I want to start doing all of that, bro. That joint is fire. You know, if that ever happens, I don't know if it'll ever happen. You know, I live a pretty good life right now. I'm pretty straight and stable. You know, I do this really for fun. But, you know, if God blesses me, he blesses me. And then, bro, I want to do a lot of things for everybody and even just help people out, you know? Maybe do giveaways and stuff. I love that. I would love to do that. That would be so fun. Bless some people like that. Man, I mean, I bless people right now on a little small volume. So if he makes that bigger, I'll be happy for it. But it needs to be more of that. And honestly, people, I'm not going to lie, people, if you want stuff to work out your way, you got a business you're running, you got anything that you're doing and that you want to build, one of the number one rules you should keep in your mind, give to God and give to people, and you will be rewarded. Don't give because you want to be rewarded. You give because you want to give. Period. That's it. Y'all be easy. Salute to y'all. NBA players, please. Let's start giving back more to the NBA fans, man. Because I do think. Let's start giving back to the NBA fans because at the end of the day, those are your consumers. Those are the people that do support you with their money. And you should always look to support the people that support you. Simple. Y'all be easy. Like the video. Subscribe. Shout out to Kretschman Media. And I'll see y'all again. Peace.